How's it going? My name is Phil, and today we're going to be talking about doing a local SEO plan. If you're a business owner or a marketer who's looking to launch a local SEO site, I'm going to break down the steps that I use to launch local SEO sites. So without any further ado, let's get started. All right, kicking it off. I think it's important to define your campaign goals because some people create a website because, oh, the boss told me to, or we're expected to have one, which is true. You are expected to have one in today's age, but your site's going to be a lot more successful if you define your objective and think of your site as a sales tool and define what needs to happen to make your site the most successful sales tool possible. Because we're not just creating a business card, we want to create an interactive site that attracts your ideal audience. Cool. Knowing that audience will help out a lot. So if you're already serving these customers, try to get into the head of the customer, understand their preferences, pain points, and really work on imagery and language that speaks to them, not necessarily to you, because sometimes us business owners are looking at our site or our business one way when we need to be thinking about it in the terms of the end user and our consumer. Checking out the competitors is always a good idea. Try to figure out what kind of content they're providing and identify the key players in your local area. You likely already know who these people are, but looking at their sites will provide a lot of brain food for your next site. Keyword research. I always recommend we conduct keyword research, but for local SEO, quite often, it's easier than we think. So if you're a dog groomer in Omaha, Nebraska, it's usually dog groomer Omaha, Nebraska, right? However, if you do more research into dog groomer Omaha, Nebraska, and you find other longer terms that you can use or synonyms or new services to offer, a little bit of keyword research on the front end can go a long way. Typically, the keywords for a local SEO campaign are a mishmash of the service name and the geographic region. In the region, and in the example I just used, it's dog groomer, Omaha, Nebraska, right? So try to find your keyword similar to that. Basically, it's your main service plus your geographic region. Cool. Optimizing Google Business Profile. This used to be called Google My Business. Now it's called Google Business Profile. It's just as important. Google weighs this stuff a lot, so make sure you have your business name, address, phone number, hours, address, high quality, unique images, full description. Go crazy on this. It's going to pay dividends in the end. Working on Page SEO as part of the site launch will definitely save you trouble. Don't wait till the last minute, or don't do this after the fact. Include the keywords that you just found in the irrelevant pages, meta tags, headings, content, URL, all that fun stuff. Local link building. So this is a little tough sometimes depending on the region you're in, but getting links from local businesses or related industries is a great way to increase the visibility of your site. And if you've been an established business owner for a number of years, you have the ability to leverage those existing partnerships. So reach out to those partners, let them know you need a link on your site, and go about it however you need. But local and relevant links are super valuable to your site. Online reviews. I still think Google Business Profile is the best place for you to get reviews, but don't forget to ask for reviews in places that you may not have. But if I were a business owner in this day and age, I would focus specifically on Google Business Profile, making sure I have a number of 5-star reviews here, because frankly, you're always going to have somebody who's going to have a bad day and leave you a 1 when it's not really your fault, or maybe there was an honest mistake. So having a number of 5-star reviews will help mitigate any of those locos who leave you a 1-star review, which is unfortunate. Also, respond to every review, good or bad. Local schema markup. This is basically microdata for your website. So you can go to schema.org and basically copy paste the existing organization schema, customize it to your business, and put it in the header of your site. Boom. Looking at your competitors to see if they have schema is also helpful. Just copy them if they're succeeding. But you basically want to have this little snippet of data to let Google know what type of business you are and furthering that name, address, phone number profile. Mobile optimization. In this day and age, you want to make sure that your site's ready for mobile traffic, quite often with local, and depending on your niche. I always think of something emergency related like exterminator or fire and water damage. People are going to pick up the phone and call likely the first person whose website functions or the first person whose ad shows up in front of their face, right? So you need to make sure that your site is phone ready. Content creation. I just recommend that you plan out your content creation far enough in advance and you know the topics and you funnel through or you cycle through the same topics over, a number of months or years and basically plan out stuff way in advance. So when it comes time to write, you know exactly what to write and you're not wondering, hey, what should this article be about? I mean, it sounds a little silly, but don't neglect social media. People expect it nowadays. And making sure you have a presence on social media is also a trust sort of signal to the user because people don't want to do business with someone that they can't find any information about. So at least having a social media will help. Being active on there will help even more as far as portraying the image of a established authority, trustworthy business. Local citations are simply mentions with name, address, and phone number across the web. And you can find a number of different providers who are able to build these for you, and you could build some for yourself. But building local citations is, again, it's just basically a name, address, and phone number on places like Yelp, Foursquare, Merchant Circle. There's a bunch of these directory style sites, and you want your name, address, and phone number to be consistent across any number of these. There's a couple of tools that allow you to check this, and then there's plenty of providers that'll help you to take care of this if you don't want to do it yourself. I think after you do a few, you're going to realize how daunting and drudging it is, so you'll want to pay a provider, but I leave that up to you. Using tools like Moz Local and Bright Local will allow you to see your rankings across a geographic region, which I think is pretty cool. Monitoring your site with Google Analytics is a great way to understand who is visiting your site and what are they checking out. And if your site is geared towards conversions, having those conversions data will help you make decisions as far as what's working and what's not. I can't recommend Google Analytics enough. It's a free tool to get started, and it's going to tell you what pages people are consuming and what are the most popular pages on your site at minimum. At maximum, you can configure it to capture all sorts of fun events, and that's partially what I do with my Bosslytics part of the business. Local ad campaigns, I still think it warrants creating a local ad campaign. You can get pretty granular with Google pay-per-click, and you can use it to target audiences. Some people like Facebook ads, but my personal preference is Google Ads. It's just the platform that I've used for years, and I recommend you consider creating local ad campaigns for your next site. Tracking phone calls, this sounds tough, but it's really not. Tools like Twilio and CallRail make this super easy. And then tracking your phone calls allows you to figure out if there's any service or quality issues that you need to address with your leads, but also having a track record of the incoming leads is super helpful. Monthly reporting, just check out either your call tracking software, Google Analytics, all your sort of reporting platforms once a month and adjust your campaign strategy as needed. Basically mind the meter, basically. And then last but not least, don't forget that patience and persistence is needed when it comes to SEO. A lot of times your competitors don't know what they're doing and they're just winning because they've been there longer than you. So keep that in mind. SEO does favor the incumbent and people who have been there. So if you're just starting off, it's going to take a lot of work to get going, but showing up for your most valuable key terms and services in your local region is one of the most, it's one of the most profitable activities you can do if you manage to nail it, right? So it's going to take the long term because you're going to have to knock somebody off the map spot that you want. So be patient, keep at it. That's my messaging on a local site plan. Obviously, if I could help you with this stuff, please reach out. I hope this content's been helpful. Let me know if you think this content's helpful with the like or subscribe, or leave me a comment. That stuff's super helpful to let me know what type of content I should create in the future. But thank you so much for watching till the end. My name's been Phil, and I've been happy to share with you this local SEO plan. But thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.